Mayim family. It's Michelle, and this is my good friend Michelle.
Hello.
So what we're doing is we're filming a little like how-to tutorial video for anybody who has picked up one of our like root color survival kits. And so the reason why I asked Michelle to do it is because I wanted somebody who is not a hairstylist to be able to do it, and I can kind of walk you guys through what you'll need to do with the actual supplies that you're gonna get that you purchase from us. If you purchase one of the root color kits, the first thing I wanna preface is that I'm showing you on Michelle on a blonde, but we're actually using conditioner. Blondes, this isn't necessarily gonna work the best for, so please don't take this video and go try and buy box color and try to do it as blonde and think that the ends are gonna come out looking like hers, because that needs to have lightener and bleach and all of that stuff that we're not able to do and have you do at home. When you get your color kit from us, it's gonna come in a bag, and I will have, you'll have like your tube of color. It's gonna be your predetermined color that we choose for you, and we'll send it with you and make sure that it's the correct color for you. Now, I'm gonna tell you, it might not be exactly perfect. Sometimes we mix 3 and 4 tubes together, but we're just trying to give you the survival kit that's gonna get you through until we can get your beautiful face back in the salon and take care of it. We would just much rather you use our professional color than anything that you can buy over the counter, because the chemicals that are in that are like super harsh and super strong and like impossible to get back out of the hair. So you'll get a tube of color. You can take the entire tube out of the box. This one's already been used, but you take the tube out of the box. If you unscrew the cap, there's like a little puncture thing that you can actually puncture the tube to open it. And then I want you to actually squeeze out the entire tube into a bowl. It can be glass, it can be plastic, it can be anything like that. It's not gonna damage it. You can run it through the dishwasher when you're over, but just don't use a metal bowl because the metallics in it will interact with the chemical. You'll wanna squirt the entire tube of hair color into the bowl first. Then we're gonna give you, I don't have them with me, but I'm gonna give you pre-measured out developer in like a little solo cup with a lid on it. That is going to be the exact amount that you wanna mix that entire tub into your color bowl with this tube of color. Mix it up really, really well with like a spoon or a whisk or anything that you have. Mix it to where it becomes like a really creamy, like frosting type. Using conditioner, but it should still look pretty much like conditioner that you have. We're also gonna give you some gloves. Please wear them because you do not wanna have black hands or brown hands or red hands afterwards. And then we'll also give you a color brush with it. I really recommend that you use this brush. It's gonna give you the most even application, and it's kind of just makes your life a little bit easier. So I am gonna walk Michelle through it. Like I said, she is not a professional hairstylist. She is just a really good friend of mine who is volunteering to help us with this video. And then I'm gonna turn, we're working basically trying to look in the camera and in a mirror, so we're gonna try and get the best angle for this. So what you'll do is separate it out like down the center or on your part line. Then you'll dip the brush into your color, and you're just gonna kind of paint it from that root line out to where you start to see it kind of match that color. So you'll wanna go a little bit heavier right at the root, and then just kind of like feather that paint down, almost like if you're painting, okay?
Of my color. And
yep, down in there. And then you can actually do like
both sides?
Both sides along your part line first, because that's the part that's gonna like process the most. So do both sides of that part line. So I would recommend, Michelle, perfect that you did this. So that's a little bit too much color on your brush. So when you dab it in, like kind of like take it off on the side of your bowl, just as if you were painting like a wall or something. Too much color on that brush is just gonna make for a mess. Perfect. Perfect.
All right.
Yep. So then now you'll start to take like, either way, yep. You'll start to take just horizontal sections along from the front hairline, just back as far as you can, and then you can lay that over on your part.
Look at me doing hair.
Look at you, look at you. So then you'll do the exact same movement on it. You wanna take small enough sections that you're able to get the color to penetrate both sides of that section. So almost to where as if you can like read through the section or see through that section of hair, because you want to make sure that you're saturating and you're getting every bit of that hair done. And it's kind of hard. Michelle's a little trying to do it best for the camera and away from the mirror. I would suggest to be in the mirror as close as you can, just so you can kind of see it. What we're recommending with these emergency survival kits is that you just focus on the front section of the hair. You don't want to, I don't think, nobody's gonna see the back of your head unless you're doing like pigtails while we're in quarantine or any of that, but really just kind of focusing on this front area, what you see the most. Really, this is gonna be for our girls who are really trying to cover up those grays and disguise those natural highlights as we have. So you'll just kind of keep painting it. You're actually doing a really good job.
Got a side gig.
Yeah. That's almost a little too big of a section.
Okay.
So if you'll go back and like re-section a little bit thinner, because you want to make sure that that hair color is getting all the way through both sides of that. Yeah, to put some color. We were saying we should have put some color in it so you can see.
Would it have dyed my hair?
Yeah, we want to do that. The reason that we want you to use our professional hair color, even if you do have dark hair, is that if you get it on some of that hair that's already been colored, it's not going to make it turn black. Like a lot of times with box color, if you overlap it on any previous color that you have, it could wind up turning it like darker for you. And we don't want to do that. We want to try to keep this, you know, basically just like a get through this time, disguise those roots a little bit. Is it gonna be perfect? Absolutely not. But this is going to really help you to kind of just disguise it. She should do the top side that she's already pulled over and the bottom side of her hair that's down. And I suggest yes, because that way if you get a little bit too large of a section, then you're more likely to get that color all the way saturated on both sides of it. The biggest thing that why at-home color and doing our own color doesn't work the best is because of making sure that every piece of hair is evenly covered with that hair color. And if the color isn't even on all of that hair, it doesn't process as well, and you'll see kind of splotchy, or you won't get as good of gray coverage. So just making sure that you have as much product on there, which is why I'm kind of giving most of you guys a little bit more color than you really would need in the color kit that you're purchasing. Yeah, definitely. You can push through with that brush. The bristles on that color brush have the right amount of density on them to be able to push the color through the hair without removing it off of the hair. Now that since you're on this side, I would almost just kind of pull back, Michelle, and then just do along that hairline back there. So just pull that over to the side. Yep, that's perfect, just like that. So, because I'm not making sure that I wouldn't worry about coloring all this hair back here, just getting those outside edges so that way if you do pull your hair up into a ponytail, you're able to have that coverage. Now that she's got her company shirt on, she didn't mean to do that, but her and her husband own JG Beecham Electric. So if you guys ever need an electrician, they're an incredibly honest and awesome company to call them up. This side might be a little bit harder depending on like what hand, if you're left-handed or right-handed. One side's gonna be a little bit more difficult than the other. Just kind of depending, just being a little bit awkward for a minute, but just kind of go through the steps and making sure that you resaturate, kind of feathering it out and down like she's doing.
Coming around this way, for me,
Makes it a lot easier.
it makes it easier. Yes, I have more control over the brush
Okay.
when I'm doing that side.
would do the same. Either have yourself just do like along the ponytail area, or have your kid or husband or anybody, boyfriend, kind of help out with it. Just kind of reaching over like Michelle's doing, reaching over from the side. And if it is a dark color, try not to get too much on your neck, but it will wash off. The dark color, I'll throw in some little circle color remover pads in a Ziploc that you can use to kind of remove some of that color off of your neck and your hairline if you need to. Once you've done all of those sections, what I would do now is come and just actually paint it. Like, try not to get too far onto your face, but really just paint backwards now on that hairline. So that way you can kind of get it like all the way around, just making sure that and if you have really problem areas where you have gray that pops out a lot sooner than others, or you notice your roots a lot sooner than others, really focus on making sure that you get that section really saturated and you have it nice and damp. And when I mean saturated, I mean really wet and really coated with that hair color. Because there's nothing worse than you going through all of this and not taking the time to do this step, and then you're gonna still see a little bit of your gray right there in those baby hairs. So
holding it like this really helps.
Really helps you?
Side for me.
Okay. I would get up kind of good and close to the mirror, make sure that you don't see any dry hairs around your hairline or around your face anywhere, so that way it can kind of get good and colored and you don't have any natural highlights peeping through. Okay, so then once you get that back, making sure that's all nice and saturated, what you're gonna wanna do is, if you have darker color, like I said, it looks like a little cotton round. You'll wanna take that and really just kind of like rub it along your face and your head, your skin and your scalp before it starts to process, to just kind of take off any hair color that you'll see. So like all around this hairline, everywhere. I'm sure you've seen some of us do it in the salon, or your stylist do it in the salon for that. What you'll do is, once that's done, just kind of let your hair process. You wanna process your hair for 35 minutes. So you wanna make sure that you actually, from the time that you're completely finished with it. So now that Michelle just finished her hair, I would set a timer for 35 minutes and then do it for that time frame. Some little things to think about beforehand is, thankfully she's got conditioner on, but I probably would have thought about putting a like button-up t-shirt on. It's probably easiest for you to just jump in the shower and wash your hair in the shower after the fact. It's not gonna damage your shower walls or any of that stuff. What you really wanna do after it's processed for the full 35 minutes is really get the hair damp and wet, and then get your head back in the shower or the sink or anything like that, putting it back there, and then taking your fingertips and really like kind of scrubbing with your fingertips to get that hair color out. Once you've rinsed it through and gotten it through and you get majority of the hair color out, then go through and shampoo. I would recommend that you do 2 complete shampoos just to make sure that you get all of the hair color out of your hair and it's not stuck in there. Sorry for the background noise. We're at home and hey, we're in quarantine life with kids and homeschooling and all that fun stuff, but you're gonna be too with a lot of distractions. So
set a timer.
Yeah, make sure that you set that timer and you have it for that, and then shampoo your hair twice afterwards, and then condition after that, and then you're good to go. Blow dry it and kind of go from there. Please, if you guys have any questions while you're going through this, don't hesitate to reach out to us. If you Facebook message us, or you send us an email or whatever, even if you're like a little nervous, send us an email to 40volume@40volume.com before you're gonna do this and say, hey, I'm about to do my at-home hair color and I'm really nervous. Can you guys be on the lookout if I have any questions or need to ask questions along the way? But thank you to Michelle for being willing to be the guinea pig and the model for doing this. Yes, definitely. And we're here for you guys. Please know that we know that this is not ideal, and anything that you do with this, we're not gonna give you any colors that are gonna really do a lot of damage to your hair. So we will be able to kind of get it back to being perfect when we can get you back in the salon. But hang in there, stay healthy and stay safe, and thanks for watching along. Bye.
In there.